Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaiya, your favorite newbie metalhead, and today we're finally listening to Spiritbox's sophomore album, Tsunami Sea. Now, I know I'm late to the party, but I do have a good excuse, girl, okay? The reason why I am late is because I was waiting for my vinyl pre-orders, girl, and yes, not just one, but 2 vinyl pre-orders. You can start the reaction here if you don't care about seeing this, which, you know, fair. But for all of my collectors out there, this is, of course, the Spiritbox record. What I love about this era for Tsunami Sea is how neutral kind of the whole palette is. It's just black and white. And if you noticed on like YouTube Music, they put all of their records, including Eternal Blue, as just black and white, which I thought was really cool. So this whole aesthetic is very minimalistic. That's the word I'm looking for. But on the record cover, you can see the lines, like these geography lines and patterns. This is the back. So I have 2 versions. This one is the Target exclusive. It comes with this really thick booklet. You hear that, girl? Don't worry, I ain't hurting the pages. It is a matte paper. One of my Twitch subs did mention how that might irk some people just because it will show your greasy fingerprints, you know. But this is basically a giant lyric sheet, a lyric booklet, and it's got all kinds of giant, this is the title track. Look at that, girl. So, as I said, very minimalistic, just a giant lyric booklet. And then we have the records. So the slip sleeve that the record is in has this like wood on it, very ocean, you know, because it's Tsunami Sea. We have some ocean photography here. You have like what looks like cliffs off the ocean. This record in particular is the black and white, I guess, splatter. So this side is side A with the black label in the center. I know it's upside down, but they kind of went like the whole Ariana Grande Sweetener vibe. If you remember how her whole aesthetic was like upside down, right side up type of thing. So it says Spiritbox upside down for the first 3 songs, and then it's Tsunami Sea right side down. It's like Tsunami Sea like upside down. Can you see that? That's what we're working with. And then here's the back. They did do a white label. There, you can kind of read it. And then the second record, everything is the same except for the vinyl color. So we got the clear with glitter. So that is what it looks like. You can see the sparkles in there. And as I said, very minimalistic with this entire album. So this totally fits the vibe. It kind of looks, you could say it kind of looks like water with sand or something like that. Usually I'm not a huge fan of clear vinyl records, but sparkles. I love the sparkles. And honestly, when it goes onto the player, I did put it on the player just to see what the sparkles look like on the black mat, and it looks gorgeous. And I'm very excited to get into this record. Now, Spiritbox, and specifically Courtney LaPlante, was one of the first female metal vocalists I ever listened to. I have a video which I will link up here that you can watch if you want to, and it was my very first time listening to female metal vocalist, and I'm telling you, Circle With Me was the first Spiritbox song I ever listened to, and hearing Courtney's like growls in the bridge was mind-blowing. I had never heard a female vocalist ever yell like that, and seeing her skill and her just everything about that was mind-blowing, honestly. So that was the first time that Spiritbox was put onto my radar, and I really connected with them and fell in love with them as a band when they released The Fear of Fear in 2023. I think that that is honestly their best record. I know it's an EP, but there is so much emotion in that album. Like, there is just who hurt Courtney LaPlante, because we've got to talk. I'm sorry, we do. The girls, we're gonna get together and we're gonna talk about who hurt Courtney LaPlante so that she was writing songs like that, because I felt it in here and I connected so much to so many of the songs on there. And that is what I'm always looking for with metal, is that emotional and mental connection. And yeah, The Fear of Fear just did it for me. Rotoscope, not my favorite. And I'll be honest, I really have not dove into much of Eternal Blue, but I'm very excited to see what Spiritbox does with Tsunami Sea, because they have had a huge year, okay? Not only was Courtney, or should I say Poppy, mistaken for a different person, but they also were nominated for 2 Grammys. I think they won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance. I think it was Jaded and Cellar Door that both got nominated, 2 different Grammy celebrations, which is crazy. And I definitely think that checks out, because The Fear of Fear is definitely a more mainstream sounding record, objectively speaking. You know, I mean, it's got a lot more pop elements, and by pop I mean more mainstream, kind of catchier choruses. There's some clean singing in there, which Courtney of course layers in with her basic yells and stuff like that. But I think that The Fear of Fear is where, you know, the more people, more mainstream, the masses ended up really connecting with this record and actually finding out about it, obviously because the Grammys noticed. So Tsunami Sea, I'm interested to see what they do with this. This is their second full-length album. Are they going to kind of do a mix of Eternal Blue mixed with The Fear of Fear? Are they experimenting a little bit more? What's, you know, based on their aesthetic, like what's the vibe here, and what do we mean by Tsunami Sea? You know, that is what I'm trying to discover today. So we're going to get started with the reaction. We have the very first song, which is called Fata Morgana. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're already starting off. Damn, girl. What a change. We're definitely talking about pain here, obviously. It starts off with sorrow. Sorrow follows me. I feel it in my inhale when I breathe. I can feel it in the exhale underneath. Girl, who hurt you? Like, literally, who hurt you? And I know from, like, a brief look at the Perfect Soul lyrics that she was kind of talking about depression. So I think a lot of things that she talks about in her music, and probably a lot of the stuff we'll be talking about in this record specifically is mental health. I feel like Jaded was the song from Fear the Fear of Fear that I really connected with a lot, and I feel like that had a lot to do with family dynamics. You know, love is jaded. What was the other line I really connected with? Love is jaded. There was another one that I really connected with, and I was like, damn, I feel that here. So we're obviously doing that. The switch up between this verse and the chorus, honestly, it probably could have been better, but it's also our first song. So let's see what they do. I'm glad that Courtney's bringing in some clean singing too. I like them both, but I love the dynamics between her like aggressiveness and this clean singing. Also, can we talk about the deeper growl scream she does? Watch it bloom like a birthday. I can't sing like that, girl. That ain't me. I ain't a metal singer. I'm a country singer. But I liked that. Adds a little dynamic. Also, last point, I am interested to see if they make all of the songs run into each other like they did with the Fear of Fear. And I was just listening to that before this reaction to that whole EP. And did you notice that the last song, was it Ultraviolet? It ended off on a cliffhanger. And it doesn't go back into Cellar Door. So it kind of makes me think, does it go into something else or something? I don't know. So I'd be interested to see if the last song on this record actually runs into Fata Morgana or not. Like that. Love that delivery. I got chills, girl. Oh, now we're going into a bridge? Love that is ingrained in my lowness. Back to me. Like that staccato delivery, so good. The verse 2 slaps. Verse 2 comes in like a hammer to the face, girl. It is much heavier than verse 1. And I like how we're skipping the chorus, going back to the chorus. So we're going into a bridge now. Let's see what they do here. They have a lot of nice low moments. Come on, Courtney. Interesting filter. Okay. And they keep the vocal thing? Chills. I got chills. I got chills. Now do we... Okay, before we get into the next song, I do think we're going to run into the next song. I love that it's like, let it go without warning, and ding and ding and ding, and they have that little floating thing, and then we get into the breakdown and you can still hear it, and it matches the tempo perfectly. Obsessed with it. This one, I think, is a really good opener. I think it's a little bit of a grower. I'm not totally obsessed with the chorus melody. It's kind of giving me some of the stuff that we got on the Fear of Fear. Specifically, like, probably like Too Close, Too Late, or like Ultraviolet, something like that. So it kind of has that same melody to it, but I kind of want a little bit more with the chorus, just a little bit. However, this final chorus, I like it. With this breakdown at the end, I like it. Again, I also think it's just a setting the stage, right? You don't want to put, all your eggs just in the first song and then have everything else be a dud, So I think we're slowly getting there. Constant, I create, tie myself to the masthead, diamond chain. Okay, referencing things that involve water. Tsunami Sea, so I could expect things that maybe involve boats, water, boats, ships. Tie myself to the masthead, ship reference. Diamond chain, I collapse like a rotten spider vein. Interesting. Spider vein. I was like, what is that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, people get spider veins. Crawling up to the surface, harbor wave is ingrained in my lowness back to me, and all that ever was will ever be. Pain is just an infinite enemy upon my conscience. Girl, who hurt you? Also, can I just say, terrified of the water, okay? Terrified of the water. Also fascinated by tsunamis. Anybody else? No, just me? Okay, got it. Okay, so the second track is called Black Rainbow. I'm looking at Genius right now. It says, being the second track of Tsunami Sea, Black Rainbow is named after a similar titled movie, Beyond the Black Rainbow from 2010, whose director, Panos Cosmatos, has been noted to be coincidentally raised in Vancouver Island, Spiritbox's origin and the general theme of the album. Oh, so we're talking about Vancouver Island and the ocean surrounding there. LaPlante stated in an interview with Zach Sang that the little tie-in catches upon this sense of cultural disconnect between mainland Vancouver and Vancouver Island, something that she thinks Cosmatos felt together with Spiritbox. LaPlante further stated in the interview that the movie did not directly influence this track, but acts as a writing prompt for it, with her being inspired by the imagery of the Black Rainbow. Okay. I've never been to the Vancouver Islands, so I'm just picturing a little city town and ocean. Okay, let's see what they got with Black Rainbow. I'm going to play it still from the ending of Fata Morgana and see if we go into it. Or do we just fade? We do go right into it. Sort of. That high synth. Now, I will say production-wise, the one thing that's irking me is the guitars are a little bit too loud. That is the one thing. I really want Courtney's voice to be a little bit higher, and they do have some nice synths that are kind of padding this, but you can hardly hear them over the guitars. And they have this little high, like, bang thing, and you can hear it, but again, it's underneath those guitars. So that is the one production nitpick I have so far. It's just guitars are a little bit too maxed out, but let's see what if they would, you know, change that up a little bit. Oh, funky. It's like a vocoder. I will also say they do have some things on, like, production-wise, electronics and stuff that are very early 2000s. So they do have some nostalgic vibes. And when we get to the song I'm thinking of, it might be Perfect Soul. There's like a melody that they basically ripped from Imogen Heap. I think it's Perfect Soul. So when we get there, I'll mention it. But okay, not what I was expecting, but I like this intro. Exit. Funky. I also feel like this song, I know she's saying it's like talks about Vancouver Island, but this upwards feel the pressure makes me think of being like a diver, you know, and you're going up too fast and you're feeling like the pressure. So you're getting that, like, I forget what the sickness is that I could never dive into the ocean, girl. I could never do it. But I forget what that sickness is where they have to like pause to get used to the pressure levels before they can resurface. But that is just, it could be a reference, the water reference. You know, I love this line in the chorus. No pressure here to meet your soul beyond the black rainbow. Let's continue. Nice. A lot of hardcore references here too, especially with this like callback. Slithering, you're deficient. It's so high. It is a very high scream. And it's just giving me like some hardcore, little bit of grindcore kind of vibes, which I really like. But that is a great callback, especially for a live setting. You can really have a lot of crowd interaction with that. Inside the midnight, you've been slithering. You can see Courtney go, you know, have everybody sing slithering, you know. And again, this whole line of we repressurize just makes me think of going up. Let's see what they do with this bridge. Escalating. I got chills again. Wow, it ends so suddenly. And now we're into Perfect Soul. Beyond the black rainbow. And then we go immediately into the sense of Perfect Soul. So we did not merge into this next song. It ends very suddenly, which I guess is just, for the vibes, that could work. I'm not totally mad at it because it's a nice contrast between like this super aggressive song. Again, in this bridge, dissolve, displace, it's kind of making me think, obviously, dissolve. You could say dissolve in water. Maybe I'm super stressing this out, stretching. Maybe I'm stretching too much, but dissolve in water, displace kind of makes me think of oil in water and how it separates type of thing. So because it's about the sense of cultural disconnect between mainland Vancouver and Vancouver Island, I'm not from there, so I don't know what that disconnect is. But we have this Beyond the Black Rainbow, which she mentions the film title actually in this outro. I can see for miles and miles beyond the black rainbow. I'll have to maybe check this movie out. I don't know. Let's see what Perfect Soul. I have listened to this. I think I've listened to basically all of the singles. So we have Perfect Soul, Soft Spine, and then I think Known Loss, No Love are the 3 singles I've listened to. I know that they released a couple more once the album was out, which I have not checked out. So other than those 3 songs, everything else is new to me. I haven't listened to these singles in a little bit though. So let's check out Perfect Soul and see how it feels with the rest of the music. So let's go. Yeah. I remember this being one of my favorite songs because it's just such a vibe change, like coming out of those 2 songs, Fata Morgana and Black Rainbow, especially Black Rainbow, because they are so heavy and dark and deep in the feels. So this is very Eternal Blue. This is like more along the lines of the, I guess, more melodic and poppier quote unquote material that we had on The Fear of Fear. Think like Jaded. I feel alone in my body. I feel a silence underneath. That's kind of like the pop melodies that we get with this. I think it's Imogen Heap. But you also hear how her vocals are higher in the mix in comparison to those 2 songs. It's just little things like that. And it could be too, obviously Perfect Soul was released before the album was finished. So it could be a thing where they actually recorded Perfect Soul, finished all the mixing, mastering, and digitally released that before they finished any of the production for Fata Morgana, Black Rainbow, and maybe others. That does happen. If you ever have listened to an album before and you're like, why is this song like so much louder in my headphones or on my speakers than this song on the same record? That is usually why, is because they released one song completely finished the rest of the record, and then just slapped them all digitally on the same record, essentially. So that can happen. Come on, Courtney. So cover up the way. Her gift to someone is free. Imitation of the perfect soul. I shine a light into 1,000 eyes, all watching, waiting. Ba-na-na, ba is that? Anybody? I think it's Imogen Heap, but I don't think it is. But they 1000% ripped that melody. Now, of course, no melodies are really going to be new these days. So maybe they got permission. Maybe they got permission to use that. Maybe not. Nobody else, I think, is credited for this. But that is instantly like the first time I heard this, I was like, dude, that's the melody I'm hearing. And which is also why I feel like I get that kind of early 2000s aesthetic. And I don't know what song that is. It irks me to no end because I've heard that song they're ripping the melody from, but not in 1,000 years, girl. Okay, let's keep going. It's exactly the same. Love that little rubber in there. I mean, it's such a beautiful song. Ooh, the leave or whatever that was. So good. I love the layered vocals. Love this like little vocoder effect. And I love this melody they ripped, but it's also not their melody. So I'm like, do I like it because it's that melody and it's catchy and it's because it reminds me of that? I don't know. Come on, Courtney.
My dreams are just a fantasy, and that is all they'll ever be.
God, come on, Courtney.
I turn the lights out on 1,000 eyes, all watching, waiting.
God, I love the softer moments too. Like I love both elements, you know. I do think because I'm more of a singer, I prefer more of her clean singing and her softer moments than some of her heavier songs, but I equally like both, okay? Because let me tell you, The Fear of Fear is basically a perfect record for me. You know, Cellar Door, Angel Eyes, bestie. Okay, so I love these softer moments, and I also like that we got to hear more of Courtney's higher clean singing range. We obviously know that Courtney can do a lot with her scream, right? Both the hardcore style vocals we got with Black Rainbow, and then also, you know, her typical lower scream that she's known for. But I like how she gives us so much of that higher range. And she explored a little bit of that with Jaded, especially towards the end, which I really like. So she does have some very good range and just beautiful melodies in here. Yeah, so somebody said like carried in the ebb and flow. Here can be seen as a remnant of the ebb and flow back in Eternal Blues, The Summit, where the quoted lyric is, "How could I know when the ebb and flow would desert you?" Another person said, when asked by a fan on whether these two are related, LaPlante said, "Everything is always connected." In an interview with Metal Hammer, this verse talks about LaPlante's story of being brought into depression, something she had faced throughout her life, including during the recording of this record, which again, I think a lot of things we talk about in this record have to do with mental health. Now, somebody said, I shine a light, for this line, I shine a light into 1,000 eyes, all watching, waiting. Somebody said during like doctor visits, they'll shine a light into your eye. Now, what I think about that is this song could be about how Courtney is a very well-known musician. I would say she's famous. I would say she's famous now. I mean, she was in the Grammys, you know? And so it could be something where it's like imitation of a perfect soul. I shine a light into 1,000 eyes, all watching, waiting, meaning like her fans, you know? So it's like, you know, Courtney is here. People think she's like a perfect, I don't know, perfect celebrity or just this great person. You could just say this like generalization of like she's this amazing musician, which she is, you know. But in her mind, she's thinking these people think I'm so amazing. I do all these things. Like I'm this artist. I'm this big person. I'm influential. And, you know, I have all of these people and fans watching me and waiting for new music and waiting to see what I do and all of these things. So that could be the reference. Maybe not. But that's like the first thing I was thinking about. Fortress of eyes and gnashing teeth in judgment. They're staring back at me. These could be reporters. These could be people that, you know, give criticism to Spiritbox or to Courtney as a whole. It also just goes to show, and it's kind of sad, but it just goes to show that even the most successful people who we see and we watch on stage and they're selling millions of records and they're being interviewed, you know, by tons of different reporters, and, you know, they go to the Grammys, which is, you know, as an artist, that is a huge feat, okay? Regardless of what you think about the Grammys, like if you were an artist and you poured your heart and soul into a record and you got nominated for a Grammy, like, don't tell me you would not accept it. Don't tell me you would, like, not be happy about that, you know? But it's like, it's just another reminder that even with all of those riches and popularity and fame, it doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. You still have very unhappy people, you know? You still have celebrities that struggle with mental health, and, you know, I feel like it's worse too because they have to deal with people who are fake, a lot more fake than the average person, you know, because they just want to get close to a famous person, right? And they just want to either get money from you or get free things from you or just to like drop your name to other people that they know. Cough, cough, Blake Lively. Perfect Soul, you're a banger. I love that song. I already knew I liked that song going into it. So now we're going to get into a new song I haven't heard. Keep Sweet. So let's go ahead and get into it. Ooh. Love that guitar. What an interesting beat. Okay. kind of makes me think of summer too. And then also you got the wave, the water reference. I felt it die in a heat wave is interesting. It's very visual for me. Because again, like you think, like Tsunami Sea ocean, maybe the summer. I don't know. This whole melody she's got is very like, it's very different for what I'm used to with Courtney. It's got this like sassy kind of like poppy sort of vibe to it. Poppy as in like pop music, not Poppy the musician. But I guess they're the same person, right?
I am Poppy, and I am really happy to be here nominated with
Knock Loose.
Let's see what the chorus offers us. What happened to you, girl? Again, do we need to get together and talk about this? So suddenly it feels like I woke up from a dream. We're referencing dreams again, like we did with Perfect Soul. And everything that happened to me was a talisman. I threw like a stone, throwing a stone like on the water. Maybe you constantly infantilize, passionless in a passive life. Infantilize. Entitlement to pull out every seam. Who do we need to kill? Oh, you know what that reminds me of? It kind of, this is for the girls, right? If you just, put on a smile and stay sweet, even though inside you're like either very uncomfortable or angry or something, but you don't want to rock the boat, so you just stay quiet and you just keep saying like, yeah, and you're not very vocal about how uncomfortable you may be or whatever, because you just don't want to cause a scene or whatever. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Devour little pieces of my heart when you need them. I want to tear it out when it's beating at one and watch it bleed out with no feeling. Actual bars and the visuals that you get. I'm a very visual listener. I can totally see. It's like that scene in Daenerys Targaryen like holding the heart. I want to watch it bleed out with no feeling. But it's the line, so I keep sweet to keep safe, So I stay quiet. I stay nice. I don't rock the boat. I just smile. I just smile to guard myself. Temperament in a heat wave, Keeping it cool in this like heat wave could be in this very toxic environment, this very hot as in like, yeah, toxic, people are angry in this very toxic, angry environment. I'm keeping it neutral. All right. Love the staccato delivery of that. I always knew there was a reason my innocence was a keepsake. Dude, there's a deeper meaning to this, and it's actually kind of disturbing. It makes me feel like I'm connecting to this as a woman. Like there is something here as a woman that we have equally experienced in terms of dealing with people who do things because we're women. I always knew there was a reason my innocence was a keepsake. I see a passage in my mind where crooked teeth and hungry eyes cannot latch onto me when I walk alone. But violent little pieces hide like honeybees inside their hive. Insidious, they rot alive, and I know they follow me like a ghost. This could be like paparazzi. And again, like people who just have bad intentions with her. My innocence was a keepsake worn around my neck. Shake my head till I see straight. This could be bad thoughts too. Well, she doesn't have that baby face though, because when I think infantilize, I think about how people view like someone like Ariana Grande. You know, her magic is starting to wear off, quote unquote, because the theory is that she's getting older so she doesn't look like an infant, like a child. You know, that is like a theory that I've seen in some documentaries about her. But you constantly infantilize. You constantly make me feel like, look at me like a child. Okay, let's let the song finish. That's beautiful. Love that. Did you hear that difference in that first line? Okay, so we don't run into soft spine. Did you hear the difference with that first line of the chorus? Devour little pieces of my heart when you need them. And then we get into the actual chorus and the normal delivery of them. I love that change, because instead of them just like having it be kind of a cappella, like devour little pieces of my heart when you need them, instead of just having no instrumentals there or just like drums, they just switched up a little bit, but they just switch up the pacing, really is what it is, which I like that. One of my favorite songs, absolutely. Keep Sweet, Stay Nice. Just kind of put up a front. Don't show them your innocence, you know, because they feed off of it. This could be a lot of different things. A lot of different things feeding off of her innocence, people, or something. Something is making her feel like a child. Who do we have to fight? Miss Courtney. So let's get into Soft Spine. I've heard this too. This is a banger of a song. This song actually is a very different vibe than Perfect Soul and Keep Sweet. And so they're kind of going the same formula like they did with the Fear of Fear. So they had Faith and Morgana, which had cleans and harsh vocals. Black Rainbow, which I think also was mixed. Then we have mostly these just like two very clean vocal songs. Very melodic, very sweet, very like pop kind of essence. So now we get into Soft Spine, which is more like cellar door in terms of intensity. So let's go with Soft Spine. Coming out of Keep Sweet, total vibe change. Like, we are beyond hurt at this point. Can I just say that line, "You all deserve each other," gave me chills the first time I heard it. I was like, oh, I don't know about you, but I felt that in here. It's like a revenge song. No, it's not fine. Bars. Courtney. And then the dissonance coming out of that. What is this regicide? So Genius is saying regicide means the action of killing a king. She is burned. She is burned by somebody, maybe it's like a family member or a friend clutching their pearls. And maybe it's like a group of friends or family members that are judging her, and they have something's toxic, man. Either toxic families that maybe don't agree with Courtney's like choice of career or music. It could happen. She's like, you all deserve each other. Maybe that's why she has to keep sweet. Maybe that's why she can't. That's why she's got to be temperamental in this heat wave, because it's her family. And that's why she was jaded. I'm Taylor Swifting it up right now. This line, I hate the ones that love you. Who would it have to be in order for her to hate the people that love her? I love that person. Actual bars. And then we just change immediately to a softer vibe, exactly like what we did with Black Rainbow into Perfect Soul. Could be intentional in terms of it kind of being this mix of emotion or something a little more bipolar or something like that. It could just be all of these different vibes, all these different changes in emotion, something like that. Your God will sort you when you die is actual bars. Our Soft Spine is written as a To Haters song, as notably said by LaPlante. She said this next song goes out to everyone I effing hate. Okay. We are talking about the haters. We are talking about people that just piss Courtney off. She clarified and said the prime message is it's a fantasy of her releasing her frustrations to whoever she despised with, specifically within her industry, while in reality dreaming of having the authority to take concrete actions to such fouls. Oh, so we're talking about people that piss her off within the music industry that she is in. Soft spine obviously means like weak people, you know, people that she views as like spineless. Synonym for spineless. Perfect words. I was thinking of a different word that's not very appropriate, but you get the drift. Soft spine, spineless people. Insidious by nature, rewarding sick behavior. This makes me think, oh, it's absolutely dealing with people in the music industry in Hollywood. Think of how conniving some of those people are. I mean, if you've been following along with the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni trial and how conniving Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have been, that I know it's not really related, but it kind of is. I mean, people in Hollywood, people with money and a lot of influence have, you know, they are just going to be insidious by nature. And they learn it from other people because they've been burned. I truly believe that people, before they're really famous, they're innocent. As they continue to be more in the industry and dealing with these like really toxic, insidious people who get rewarded for their sick behavior, they get rewarded for being assholes, they get what they want for being conniving, it makes these people more jaded. And this could also reference things that she's talking about with keep sweet, just smile and nod. Keep sweet is absolutely smile and nod, that smile and wave, you know, it's just that type of thing. So if we're talking about people in the industry that she hates or just people that she just doesn't like, spineless people, I'm a witness to your killing of the king. I hate your fans. That could be the line. I hate the ones that love you. This could be I hate your fans. I hate the people that keep giving you a platform to speak on. This could be a political song, but I'm not going to go there. It could be. Now that I think about it, it could be a political song, but I'm not going to go there. So we're going to keep going. So the next song is Tsunami Sea. Now it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a softer vibe coming out of Soft Spine. So let's see what we have to offer.
So reckless and sure that you can tear away the armor in me, that I'm the person that you want me to be.
Very beautiful. Another water reference. Also love this guitar. Hurricanes and flash floods. There's an ocean between us. Oh, it's Tsunami Sea. It's the title track. Duh. Title track talking about oceans. Love that we're going more with this softer vibe. Oh, I'm sorry. You're welcome. That's what Tsunami Sea means? Girl, no. Oh, she's been crying. Oh, that makes me so sad. I don't want to visualize Courtney crying. Girl, you have so much to be happy for. I know that like, you know, me saying that doesn't mean much. I mean, she's never going to watch this video, but you hold your breath for someone I'll never be. Out of my depth, you got me dreaming, but I know how deep it goes. And so I turn all my tears into a tsunami sea. Tumultuous down to the bottom where I know how deep it goes. I love the melody. How deep it goes. I'm crying internally. Petrified wood. Like what we had on that sleeve. You're still with your husband, right? She's married, right? I hope this song is not about her husband, because if it's so, we are fighting. Girl, you only love the ideation of me. Why do I feel like I connect to that so much on an emotional level? Okay, this song is really sad. I love it. It's so pretty. It's so sad. I love it. I think that this is why I love Spiritbox's like evolution, because I don't know about you, even though I haven't heard the entirety of Eternal Blue, I feel like they went way more emotional with the Fear of Fear, and now they're doing it again on this record. Ugh. Okay, let's keep going. I'm in my feels. Crying. Oh, we're in our sad girl era. Oh, and then the ocean sounds. Oh. Okay. And so we do kind of go right into a haven with two faces. We have the ocean sounds with the fade out. And I love when artists have a very simple, light synth. And Spiritbox does it all the time. They did it a lot with the Fear of Fear EP. The wah, and it goes right into the next track. So they kind of did that with this. Very, very minimal song transition. It's barely there, but it is there. Love the ocean sound effects, the waves. So there's obviously a lot of references to the ocean and water and earth type activities, I guess you could say, with this title track. You know, they mention flash floods, hurricanes, there's an ocean between us. Second verse included, if I stay here, you'll wash away like a landslide. Now, Genius said, let's see what this is actually about. Describes the theme of the album's title track as the feeling of never being good enough. And the sad part is that it's by your own standards of why you'll never feel good enough and sinking down into depression. Oh my god. I think that's why I connected so much, because it's just like, you know, you put yourself into this bubble of like, you can't do that because somebody else is doing it better. Or like, you know, you kind of make yourself feel super insecure because you just feel like you can't measure up to this, or like, you know, you don't have enough skills to do this or whatever. I think in terms of this chorus, you hold your breath for someone I'll never be, out of my depth. You got me dreaming, but I know how deep it goes. So maybe this could be a reference to, you know, let's just say her husband, for example, of like her husband, obviously, I would hope is extremely, you know, supportive and obviously like pushes her to, you know, keep achieving her dreams and is, you know, always there for her, let's say. Perfect husband, right? But in her mind, she's like, you hold your breath for someone I'll never be. I'll never be that version of Courtney that you think I'm going to be. And she's thinking that in her head. She's telling herself, I'll never be that person. Even though, you know, that's just in her head. Out of my depth, you got me dreaming that I can be that person, but I know how deep it goes. I won't. And so I cry about it because I want to be that person, but, you know, I just don't know if I'm capable of doing it or whatever. And so I'm crying all these tears. Tsunami Sea. That is, oh God, that is so relatable. And also very sad. Courtney! Why? So the next song is called A Haven with Two Faces. This is 5.5 minutes, like the longest song on this record, pretty much. So let's listen to it. Is this going to be a more mellow song too? Kind of reminds me of Jaded right there. Love is jaded. It's kind of that back to me. Kind of has the same vibe. We're starting off with the chorus here lyrically. Very slow chorus. Also, I wanted to mention, I love that Spiritbox's whole sound. They have a lot of airy, light synths and pads that they put in a lot of their songs that just kind of like fill the empty space, so it gives it a lot of airiness and just this kind of echo and this kind of eerie sort of vibe to it, you know? Kind of bars. More references to water too in this pre-chorus. Love the layout of this song. Again, started with the chorus, then we go to verse 1. This haven has two faces. These bars, girl, for this first verse. One is to create and one is to replace it. A forest I can fade in with roots you'll never see flowing back to me. I just love one to create and one to replace it. Then this pre-chorus, this is where we have those heavier vocals. So this is kind of a mixed track, which, like I said, they have these. So Spiritbox has like 3 songs, all cleans, all screams, and then mixed. And so we haven't really had a mixed track yet. Since like the beginning of the record, basically. So the pre-chorus is all mixed. I love it too. So they flooded it. They flooded this forest, I'm guessing, destroyed everything, ripped the mountain out, and sank into the sea. Again, referencing to the ocean. Roots paralyzed by the salt, so petrified. A horizon line crashing over me. Counter the current, huh? We're kind of fading here. The storm? Come on, Courtney! Love the fade out. More ocean noises. Okay, so the song does fade out completely. Definitely one of their longer choruses, for sure. And it kind of makes me think of two faces, two versions of the song, if you will, because when they leave, when they go to this like softer section, literally right in the middle of the song, right before they go into this bridge, no wake and no shelter, we are eroded. I remember Haven has two faces. They do all of that in a scream. That's right after they bring it all down in the middle of the song. So it's kind of like, you know, two different versions, two faces, one that creates, one that replaces it. Now there's, I guess, unreviewed song bio on Genius saying that this is about Vancouver Island again. Are the people in Vancouver Island, no shade, are they like two-faced? Is there like, you know, people on Vancouver Island and then near Vancouver Island that are just, the people ain't meshing well? Because if this song is about Vancouver Island and like the people that live there, this would be the second song that she's referencing like crappy people living there. The discourse between the people. No shade. I'm genuinely curious. I've never been there. I'm not familiar with this, but if that is what we're talking about here, I would assume that Courtney LaPlante and her husband are very famous. You could throw the other Spiritbox musicians in there if you wanted to. I would say they're probably like, what, famous in their hometown. Local celebrities. I mean, they're celebrities for sure. Local celebrities. I wonder if a lot of this is referencing like how people view her, how the locals view her now that she's in this famous band. And maybe she's talking about how two-faced some of the locals are in that area in regards to her. The chorus I think is pretty. I mean, the chorus I think is pretty. It's just slow. But I do like, again, the mixed kind of vocal style here. It's very much in our feels. So now we're going to get into the next song, No Loss, No Love. Let's go. Are we going angry again? Because it kind of sounds like it. I actually remember listening to this single because they did release this as a single. I liked some of the visuals for the music video, but I wasn't crazy about this song. Let's see. In context of the rest of the album, how it grows. The bass. Ah, yeah.
I was surrounded by pearls that I could not eat and diamonds that I could not drink.
I mean, we've got those high vocals, the hardcore vocals like we had with Black Rainbow. This chorus, it says pre-chorus, silent screaming forces back in. Like I said, I watched the music video when I first listened to this, when it dropped. I didn't like this song. I will be honest. I think that this was one of the more weaker songs because I don't like this pre-chorus personally. That is a personal reference. It gives me a lot of rotoscope. Listening to like the title track from that EP, I just didn't really like some of the experimentation and stuff that they did for that EP in my own personal opinion. So you may really like this song, but I was not a huge fan of the pre-chorus of that. It looks like this song is also about Vancouver Island. Girl, I think it's time for you to move, okay? No tea, no shade. I think maybe you just need to get out of Vancouver Island if you're dedicating this much to the damn place. I mean, like, the whole vibe of this entire interlude is supposed to be, you know, unsettling, which I get. And I do kind of like the club vibe. It's not my favorite, but I get, like, why it's there, you know?
I know an island that breathes is a body that eats, and now it's showing its teeth. Under the surface I say, now it's showing its teeth. Under the surface I say, now it's showing its teeth.
And then we just go into Crystal Roses like nothing happened. So another sharp transition. Experimental, heavy, and wide. Grayscale music video. Everything is grayscale. That is true. That is their whole vibe. Represents the band's roots back in Vancouver Island, reflecting the island's geography and their simpler times. I fucking knew it, girl. I freaking called it. That's what that is. Oh my god, wait. Is this Vancouver Island that we're... Come on, girl. Don't fuzz out. Thank you. Is that Vancouver Island? All these little lines? Surrounded by oceans. The pain she's feeling. Tsunami Sea. A tsunami of tears. The ocean around Vancouver Island is just her tears. That's a stretch, but you get my point. They actually wrote a song about being in their hometown, the change of how people respond to them now that they're celebrities, but then also reflecting on simpler times when nobody knew who they were. Okay, so it says, other than its isolation, Vancouver Island is also geologically risky, sitting on the Ring of Fire, the Earth's theater of seismic activity. Oh, the plot thickens. With the island faced severe earthquakes before in 1700 and 1946, the latter being the strongest onshore recorded earthquake in Canada. Jesus. So we really are talking about Tsunami Sea. We are talking literally about Vancouver. You look at the cover, it's literally two faces, a haven with two faces. We are actually talking about Vancouver Island, where they're from, girl. Okay, Crystal Roses, let's see what they've got next. Ooh, are we up in our fields again? Okay. We're kind of EDM-y. Interesting vocal delivery there. It's very like, destination is a meadow. Like she's purposely trying to give her voice more nasal effects. And it sounds like they have a little bit of auto-tune on her. So it is a very different melodic vocal style for her. Definitely auto-tune. One thing too, I don't know if she's necessarily doing it here, but one thing I've noticed about Courtney's vocal style too, there's a lot of layers here. So it's almost like they constantly have, like she constantly has a vocoder or something either on like a double and it's put down below her. So it gives this like, it's either a vocoder on one track and then like harmonies, and then a lot of the times she'll actually scream the lyrics that she's doing, and then they'll put that scream track below all of that to give it just a little bit of bass. She might have it here. I don't think so, but that is, I'm like kind of hearing it, but kind of not. This is an interesting track so far. Let's keep listening. fell upon you. What do you think about that song? It might be a grower. I think it's a grower. Not my favorite. I think that's probably, I mean, I like some of the things that they're doing, but I think it's a grower. It's not my favorite. Not my favorite. Probably one of the weaker songs on this record. I think what's kind of throwing me off is her vocal delivery is very different than what she does for tracks like Ultraviolet, for example. The Fear of Fear, that is her natural singing. So for this, she's purposely doing this more nasally delivery, but then also her vocals have a lot of compression on there, and there's a lot of auto-tune. Now, they did say, at least based on Genius, that they have this traditional, what if we mix rock with traditional EDM? So that's kind of what they're doing. They obviously have electronic drum and bass here. Again, the auto-tune. It's an experimental song we've always wanted to make, and it happened very organically. I'm very proud of that one, and I think it's a new side of our band. I appreciate the experimentation. Like I said, I think it's more of a grower for me. I'm not a huge fan personally of like EDM music, and I think that that's also something that they kind of experimented with Rotoscope. So I think again this kind of highlights that era of like what they're doing. They obviously have an interest in that, so it'd be kind of interesting to see, you know, if their next project does more of that EDM metalcore mix. I'm not totally sure, honestly, how some fans would like that. What I do appreciate is that this is a different take on their melodic, softer songs. Like I said with, Ultraviolet, that being a very beautiful, melodic, clean singing song. This takes that clean singing, melodic sound and adds just a little bit of twist to make it different, especially with the auto-tune, makes it very different. So now we have Ride the Wave. We're getting down to the last couple songs on here, which both reference water. We're not really surprised by that, but I don't know what Crystal Roses was about either, but that's okay. Ride the Wave is next, obviously referencing the ocean. So let's see what they give us with Ride the Wave. Okay, we're talking about Vancouver Island again. Girl, get off the island. Ocean reference. I think this chorus has the same issue that A Haven with Two Faces has, in which it doesn't sound like a chorus. I think that just clicked in my head of like why I didn't really like the chorus for that song and why this chorus. I hope that they do a little bit more, because it just doesn't sound like a chorus. There's nothing in there that, except for like a little bit of synth padding and stuff, that makes it feel any different than the pre-chorus or the verse. This is another song that's very different than what I'm used to. And, it could go along with the theory of like these are later songs on the record. So, they could also just be considered filler or just not, you know, the best of the best tracks, you know. I'm not totally there with the filler. Crystal Roses could be considered filler. I don't know about this direction. I want more with the chorus, you know. I want way more vocally with this chorus, and I just feel like this melody of the disappear or whatever that is, it's just not, it's not enough. It's not enough for me. Are we talking about the word love? The only words I ever want to hear, I will wait with the syllables I swallow. I try to tell myself those words are for someone else. In the notes, I'll let you know, in the notes on Genius, it says, more specifically, the timestamp at 2:58. If you listen carefully, you can hear a faint woof in the background. And this is Courtney LaPlante's dog, Spaghetti, randomly barking in the middle of her recording session. Oh, I hope we hear that. I didn't hear it. Like grindcore vocals. See, I want the chorus to be a little different, but I love how they had the screams in that breakdown and then hearing the cleans of this chorus. It's better. It just sounds, it amplifies the chorus, amplifies those cleans, so it just gives it something more. But I want it to be, ride the wave like a message in a bottle. There's a note I wish that she had hit. Ride the wave like a message in a bottle. For the only words I ever want to hear. I wish that she did that instead of brought it up here. It's just so, rather wave like a message in a bottle. For the only words I ever want to hear. Something like that. It needs a little bit more. I want it to resolve differently. I think it's the resolve that she's doing on Here and Disappear, which just weren't working for me. You hear that? With the syllables I swallow. disappear. All right. You can dance a little to it, but it is sad. Girl, a lot of these songs are sad. I didn't hear your dog bark. She barked when I was recording the demo of the second verse, and we left it in the song. I absolutely love when that happens. My heart corrodes itself, a vessel I can't compel to break open when you pull me near. Being close to somebody, maybe it's about being like honest. Ride the wave makes me think about like just letting go and just riding the wave, just going with the flow, you know, and being honest with yourself and just seeing what happens, you know, is kind of the vibe. But maybe it's referencing like it's kind of hard to do that and be honest and maybe we're talking about friendships or something like that in an island place with a bunch of toxic people. You gotta move. Okay. If it is that toxic, girl, to where you need to dedicate a whole album to it, I think it's time for you to move. So we have Deep End. This is the final track on the record. We've come to the end. Let's see what Spiritbox does to close out this record. That riff? More ocean references. Are we talking about a friend here? Oh, God. Girl, you're killing me with these lines. But you're saying couldn't call back my desire. Climbed seawall. Sorry. Though that my world is small, your words are cruel. A tsunami and a tide pool. More ocean references. I would have lived for you. Would have died for you. Who hurt you? Oh. No, you shouldn't. Like the resolve there. Take us home, Courtney.
You're an island with a clear view. On the tidal wave, pull me back to you. How it's
Nice. No, you gotta commit, girl. Commit. Come on, you can do it. She can do it. I want her to commit to that high note and then bring in the chorus while she keeps ringing that out. Don't back down. Don't be scared. I would die. No. That's okay though. And we have acoustic guitar. God. This is beautiful. Are you fading? That's how you should end your record. Okay, kind of. You could kind of. I'm experimenting how this ends and then flows back into Fata Morgana. That high. Just a little bit higher. So kind of, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pulling strings and I want it to be that way. All right. Deep End. Beautiful song. Beautiful song. Also very sad, but a great closer. Most great albums have acoustic guitar songs that close out their records, and that's how you know it's a bop. Oh no, this is about a band member that died? Deep End serves as a tribute to the former Spiritbox band member Bill Crook, who passed away last year. We wrote Deep End before Bill passed, but that song now to me is my beacon to him. Oh my god, that's so sad. Why is this whole record? Oh god, I'm gonna cry. How did he die? I'll have to look it up in my own time. If you know the reason, you can let me know down below. I'm genuinely just curious because that's crazy. He looks so young. He looks so young. Yeah, that is sad. Oh, I'm so sorry. What a great closing song though. I mean, it really is. I'm telling you, girl, this record is a lot. I am not disappointed emotionally, mentally with this record. And instrumentally, I think we've got a lot of stuff here that I really like. The subject matter hits it for me just like I thought it would. Just like I expected. Courtney especially, I'm assuming everybody helps with the writing process, but we obviously have to agree that Courtney's the main songwriter for this, and I do believe that like she is being a lot more open and raw and honest with her music, with their music right now after the Fear of Fear. And this record has a lot of imagery and hidden meaning within the album. I mean, even when you look at the album cover itself, a haven of two faces. With two faces, you have two faces on here. It kind of looks like an island. You've got waves. One side's an honest side. One side is a toxic, evil side, you know, that is dishonest and you can't trust it. And there are so many things she's talking about in here, and a lot of it centers around Vancouver Island, her home. A lot of it centers around where she comes from, and I do believe a lot of the song she's talking about is not only dealing with maybe the local, like just people in her daily life. When I say Vancouver Island, like let's just assume it could be a small island. I really don't know. Obviously, Tsunami Seas, it's an island surrounded by ocean, but the title track also references her tears and her emotions, and I think it's dealing with a lot of family members and friends and maybe even just people that she used to interact with on a daily basis or semi-daily basis, you know, back before she was famous, and how things have changed. How, you know, because she's considered a famous celebrity now and she's got all of this praise and accolades and whatever, that people change. Obviously, people around you, your friends, people who you thought you were true, who were your true friends, change, you know, and they want things from you and expect things from you. And, you know, then she's also talking about the industry and how toxic people in the industry are. And then, you know, Keep Sweet is like, you know, about just trying to smile and nod through it and ignore, you know, people's comments and their thoughts about you. And, you know, then we're referencing, you know, so many things that have to do with the toxicity of where she lives and the people she interacts with. And that's really what that is. And this is a heavy, heavy, heavy record, all kind of centered around that island. You need to get off that island, girl. I ain't gonna lie. Did this record beat my expectations? I will say critically, like the criticisms I have, there are a couple of duds. Growers, duds, songs that I think I wanted more, and that includes Crystal Roses, I think might be the weakest song on here. Ride the Wave, I think is pretty. Tsunami Sea is my favorite. I really like Perfect Soul and Keep Sweet. That's really good. Knowing the meaning behind Soft Spine, I do like that. I think A Haven with Two Faces, I think it's okay. And then honestly, if I had to be like really, you know, critical on this, I don't even remember what Fata Morgana sounds like after listening to the rest of this album. Like, it did not stand out at all, in my opinion, after listening to everything else. Black Rainbow, I kind of only remember because it's about a movie. Based on everything, what I'm really remembering is Perfect Soul, Keep Sweet, Soft Spine, Tsunami Sea, gorgeous. I do remember A Haven with Two Faces. I think the choruses were just a bit too slow. And The Deep End, Ride the Wave being okay. No Loss, No Love is okay. You know, I do think it's great that they had this sophomore record, but I'm leaning more, maybe more towards like a 7.5. I mean, I have both the albums. So, like, I was here, signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours, Spiritbox, okay? To the point where I do want to get Eternal Blue on a record, but that might be a little difficult. I don't know. I mean, I will definitely be coming back to this record just because emotionally I connect with it so much. So we'll see how, you know, A Haven with Two Faces and Crystal Roses grows on me. Want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think about this album? Did it meet your expectations? Do you think it's better than Eternal Blue? Do you think it's better than The Fear of Fear? And did you get this record on vinyl? I would love to hear what version you got and what you think about this album. Did you walk away with any favorite tracks? What were your favorite tracks? What were your least favorite? And what do you think about the meaning of this album? What does it mean to you? Do you connect with it? I would love to hear you guys chat down below in the comments. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I know this video was long, but I just knew going into it that Courtney was going to have a lot to say. Okay, like I mentioned, she's being very vulnerable in a lot of her music right now, and so we needed to dive into that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.